The coronavirus. It started back in December 2019. That was a year ago. Since then, 1 million people have died because of it. This pandemic has completely changed our lives, making us adjust to a more virtual lifestyle. But this may not have to go on for much longer. Vaccines are in their mass production stage, and governments are already working on how to distribute them. A vaccine typically takes 10 to 15 years to be operational, but in this case, governments and organizations have pulled out all the stops. Before a vaccine can be authorized and distributed, it has to go through 3 stages. Phase 1, testing the vaccine in small groups to check if it's safe, basically how it affects the immune system. Phase 2 is testing in larger groups with subjects who have the virus or likely to catch it, basically to check its effectiveness. In this phase, Russia announced its contender Sputnik V to be 95% effective. Finally, the third phase expands the testing pool to thousands of subjects. It's tested to see how well it performs on people of different ages, ethnicities, and health conditions. The reason accelerated vaccine development is possible is because these phases are being combined. So some vaccines are currently in phase 1, 2, and 3. US President-elect Joe Biden recently urged Americans to take the vaccine when it's available by injecting the Pfizer vaccine himself. The United States is working on Operation Warp Speed, which aims to produce and deliver 300 million doses of safe and effective vaccines, with the initial doses available by January 2021. The United States Food and Drug Administration has currently approved 2 vaccines for emergency use, the Pfizer vaccine and the Moderna vaccine. The European Union has also authorized the Pfizer and BioNTech vaccine. India will be vaccinating 1.3 billion people and making 60% of the world's vaccines. It has been receiving 500 million doses of Russia's Sputnik V and 400 million doses of Oxford AstraZeneca's Covishield. Then there is Covaxin, developed entirely in India, which is currently wrapping up its phase 3 trials. According to Mr. Nandan Nilekani, a preferred system would be to do 10 million vaccinations a day with the support of a digital backbone. He, along with Dr. Mazumdar Shaw, founder of Biocon, suggests that India can use the Aadhaar card, a unique 12-digit identification number that over 1 billion Indians already use. They can use this to track and record each dose. The government has identified 300 million people to receive the first doses of the vaccine, made up of healthcare workers, policemen, soldiers, volunteers, and vulnerable people. But one thing that worries a lot of people is that a vaccine is something that takes years and years to develop, test, the whole works. But within just over a year, a vaccine is ready to be distributed. Is it safe?
You need to investigate what is in the vaccine. And then if you know, then maybe you would make an informed choice.
Take off your masks! If it's within the near future, I would be very reluctant to try it because I feel like the whole process is being rushed.
If it was an 80-year-old who felt like they were at risk, then that's their choice. I definitely think it should be a choice, and my choice would be no. I'd rather just get the virus and get it over with.
Though the vaccines were developed in a hurry, no steps have been skipped. To avoid bias, half of the volunteers are given placebo or dummy vaccines. And bodies such as the FDA and MHRA only give approval if the vaccine is both safe and effective. Checks continue even after approval to make sure there are no further side effects or long-term risks. The vaccines itself do not alter human cells, but just tells the body what to do to build up its immunity against the virus.
In a sudden turn today, the British government warned that a new strain of the virus is, quote, out of control.
Several European countries have introduced travel restrictions on people coming from the UK.
Several strains of the coronavirus have been discovered since its outbreak, but this new strain has 23 mutations in its genetic code. Some of this makes it 40 to 70% more transmissible. So will the new vaccines work against this new equally lethal virus? Scientists say that there is no evidence that the vaccine won't work. However, it may affect testing, as the tests look for a particular target area, which may come up negative. This pandemic has certainly shaped humankind to evolve differently, from contactless interfaces to increasing digital workspaces. People's mannerisms and their perspective towards life has changed a lot. What seemed like the new normal is now rebuilding itself into a more resilient society. These vaccines will first be distributed to frontline workers and those that are most likely to get infected. Until then, it's important that we continue to wear masks, get tested regularly, and most importantly, stay home.